Hello friends, I am Arpit and I'm here with today's analysis. Today is 7th of August and we're going to deal with four important topics which are in news. First is protests in UK. UK has been under fire or under riots in the last few days. Reason, a misinformation being spread among the masses on the social media that some immigrants are responsible for killing of three girl children who had gone to attend or who were associated with a music concert. The immigrants are being targeted, their properties are being targeted, and Keir Starmer, the new Prime Minister of England, is witnessing this humongous challenge in the starting of his regime as the Prime Minister. Then next is Border Security Force. Border Security Force is a central armed police force under the jurisdiction of Ministry of Home Affairs. Now this force is into news due to two reasons. Reason number one, a new chief is there. The chief of Sashastra Seema Bal, which is responsible for guarding Indo-Nepal and Indo-Bhutan border, has also been given this additional charge of heading BSF. And heading BSF in very difficult times where Bangladesh is on a boil because BSF is responsible for guarding India-Bangladesh border. So we need to know about these forces. Next is dark oxygen. Up till now, the scientifically proven concept is that oxygen can only be produced by the plants in presence of sunlight. They do photosynthesis in presence of sunlight that is done, and by this process of photosynthesis, oxygen is released by them. But scientists have now discovered another source of oxygen, that is in the deep sea beds through the polymetallic nodules. These polymetallic nodules are capable of kind of doing electrolysis which separate water and oxygen from water. They are electrically charged polymetallic nodules which led to the breaking up of water over there into hydrogen and oxygen. It becomes a source of oxygen. That oxygen is known as dark oxygen. So this is important. And last is National Handloom Day, because 7th of August since 2015 is being celebrated as the National Handloom Day. Why 7th of August? Because the Swadeshi movement started on this very day in 1905. So we will look into these topics, and in the end we will look into the MCQs and we will be discussing the MCQs of yesterday. So protests in UK. Now UK has been engulfed by deadly protests, as you can see over here in this image. UK mosques have been on high alert. Why? Because the far right or the extreme rightist people who are known to be hardcore nationalists are part of this protest, are doing this protest. They are targeting the immigrants, those who have come from outside and settled there. And a lot of Muslims have gone from outside and settled in UK. Apart from a lot of Hindus and Sikhs also are there from outside. So all the immigrants are being targeted by the locals over there. Why they are being targeted? There has to be understanding for that what are the reasons for protests. Reason number one, and the primary reason, is a fatal stabbing. This stabbing of three young girls at a dance class happened in UK. And misinformation about the stabbing of these girls, that who stabbed these girls, spread in the entire country through social media. So false rumors, misinformation spread online falsely, linking the suspect to immigration and asylum seekers. But it has been known that the person is a very young guy, 18, 20-year-old guy of African origin. But the false rumor spread against the immigrants. Anti-immigration sentiment was already very high. It came out in the form of these riots. So immigrants are being attacked over there in UK. This misinformation ignited anti-immigration sentiment and led to protests targeting asylum seekers' accommodations. And violent clashes happened. The protests escalated into violent clashes between protesters, police, and counter-protesters. So, counter-protesters also, you know, uh, are there. Means those immigrants are also ready to fight these Britishers. So, the situation is quite grim over there. We live in this age of information, but yes, this age of information is also the age of misinformation. because the same social media which can be used for spreading true or the truth or you know the correct news can also be used for spreading the wrong news. So that is why this digital age is a double-edged sword. Now, it is crucial to emphasize that these protests were driven by false information and do not represent the views of majority of the UK population. What is the newly formed government doing to curb these protests? The government and the authorities are working to address the situation, including combating misinformation and providing support to the affected communities. The government is doing its bit, but yes, the main thing is to control the rioters. That is the thing which is needed the most. Now, the next piece of news, Border Security Force, a security force which is responsible for guarding Indo-Pakistan and Indo-Bangladesh border. This force is in news due to two reasons. Reason number one, Bangladesh is on the boil and it is being anticipated that there is going to be immense in-migration into India from the Indo-Bangladesh border. Reason number two, a new chief has been appointed, Mr. Daljit Singh Chaudhary. So he is Mr. Daljit Singh Chaudhary is a 1990 batch officer in the Indian Police Service. So if you get into the IPS, you are also heading these Central Armed Police Forces. There are 7 Central Armed Police Forces which are under the Ministry of Home Affairs. BSF, ITBP, that is Indo-Tibetan Border Police guarding the Indo-China border. Then we have Sashastra Seema Bal. So this person, Mr. Daljit Singh Chaudhary, was already heading Sashastra Seema Bal and he has been given additional charge of Director General of Border Security Force. And what a time to become a Director General of Border Security Force when Bangladesh is on the boil. So coming back to this, Border Security Force, Indo-Tibetan Border Police, Sashastra Seema Bal, guarding Indo-Nepal, Indo-Bhutan border. Fourth is Assam Rifles, guarding Indo-Myanmar border. Then we have CRPF, the largest of all Central Armed Police Forces. Central Reserve Police Force is the name, full form of CRPF. Then we have NSG, National Security Guard. And finally, we have CISF, that is Central Industrial Security Force, which is responsible for guarding various industrial installations, metro rail, I would say, projects or airports of India. So these are 7 Central Armed Police Forces directly under the administrative control of Ministry of Home Affairs. About Border Security Force. Now, first of all, we need to know that this border security force was not there at the time of independence. Till 1965, when we fought the second war with Pakistan, till then it was not there. Till then, the borders with respect to Pakistan were guarded or were manned by the state armed police battalion. Means the state police were responsible. Pakistan attacked Sardar Post, Charbet and Beria Bait in 1965 in the Kutch region. And this attack by Pakistan exposed the inadequacies of that force which was guarding the India-Pakistan border. And there was a realization that we need to have a force which needs to be under the command of the central government. And hence, the Border Security Force was formed, which was specialized, centrally controlled border security force. And it was a result of recommendations of the Committee of Secretaries. The Border Security Force came into existence on 1st of December 1965 when that war was over. Shri K.F. Rustamji was the first chief and founding father of BSF. Tasks of BSF, they are divided as follows. Now, during peacetime, means when the President of India has not declared a war. At that time, the present time is peacetime. What are its responsibilities in the peacetime? It is, first of all, the first line of defense on the Indo-Pakistan border. Let's suppose this is the Indo-Pakistan border. This is Pakistan, this is India. So BSF will be stationed on the border, first line of defense. Indo-Bangladesh border, this is Bangladesh, this is India. So BSF will be stationed over here, first line of defense. So during peacetime, promote a sense of security among the people living in the border areas. Prevent trans-border crimes, unauthorized entry into the or exit from the territory of India. So this is going to be there right now because there are, you know, anticipations that, a lot of in-migration can happen. Prevent smuggling and any other illegal activity and guarding the Indo-Pak and India-Bangladesh borders during peacetime. So this was there. During wartime, it becomes the second line of defense. The first line of defense, it becomes the Indian Army. So holding ground in less threatened sectors. Less threatened sectors are basically somewhat away. So this is the border. So Indian Army takes over here as the first line of defense, and this BSF is stationed in as the second line of defense in less threatened areas. So these are less threatened sectors. Protection of vital installations, limited aggressive action against paramilitary or irregular army of the enemy, performing special tasks connected with intelligence, including raids and all. So intelligence gathering, conducting raids and all is given to them. Acting as guides in local areas where routes are known to them, because army may not know some routes. They are still stationed over there most of the times during in the border areas. So they can act as local guides for the army. Assistance in control of refugees, anti-infiltration duties in specified areas are also undertaken by them. So these are the responsibilities during wartime. So wartime was 1965. That time BSF was not there, but 1971 in front of BSF, and 1999 that was Kargil. So two instances when war was there after the formation of BSF were 1971 and Kargil, where they had these duties. Next piece of news, dark oxygen. What is dark oxygen? Basically, that oxygen which is produced in absence of light. Till now, it is known that oxygen is produced in presence of light. Photosynthesis is the only process known for producing oxygen, and through plants only oxygen is produced. But dark oxygen is neither produced in the presence of sunlight nor from the plants. Then from where it is produced? We will see. Dark oxygen is a term used to describe molecular oxygen, that is O2, produced in the depths of oceans where sunlight cannot penetrate. Depth of oceans. In the depth of ocean, we find polymetallic nodules, PMNs. This is in contrast to the produced oxygen produced at the ocean surface through photosynthesis in presence of light. So on the surface of the ocean, algae is known to produce oxygen. Algae is basically considered in the category only. It is a living organism, flora. But here, polymetallic nodules, in absence of sunlight, are producing oxygen, which is known as dark oxygen. Now, the question is, how is it produced? Now, these polymetallic nodules are lumps of iron, manganese, hydroxides, and rock found on the ocean floor. Means deep sea, light cannot reach, and these might be responsible for producing dark oxygen. Scientists are verifying, re-verifying these claims. Now these polymetallic nodules, they become electrically charged, or they are having this properties of inherent electricity charge in them, and they can release electricity charge. Now when electricity charge is released in the waters is what? H2O. This breaks into H2 and O2. So if I take it 2H2O, two molecules of hydrogen, water, so 2H2 and O2. So oxygen is produced over here. This is the similar, I would say, reaction which happens in electrolysis. Electrolysis is that process through which we produce green hydrogen. Don't forget, sorry. So these nodules seem to have the ability to transport electric charges that split water molecules. Split water molecules like this, releasing oxygen in a process similar to electrolysis. So this is how it is done. Significance of the discovery. The discovery of dark oxygen is groundbreaking. Its challenges are previous understanding of oxygen production on Earth, because previous understanding of oxygen production was through the plants in the presence of sunlight. It opens up new avenues for research into oxygen cycle. Third, the potential for life in extreme environments is also discovered, and possibility of finding oxygen on other planets can also be found, because these polymetallic nodules can be present over there also. Water also can be present over there. So if water is present and these polymetallic nodules are present, oxygen can also be present. So this is the significance. And last piece of news is National Handloom Day, August 7. We are celebrating the 10th National Handloom Day this year. We started celebrating it in 2015 for the very first time. Now, there is this historical significance attached to this. In 2023, UPSC asked a question in prelims also on this. So, what is the historical significance? The special significance is in the history of freedom struggle. On the same day in 1905, that is on August 7, 1905, Swadeshi Andolan was started. Bal Gangadhar Tilak was the crusader of that Andolan. Swadeshi means domestic. There was a call for boycotting the British goods or foreign goods and adopting Swadeshi so that we can economically dent them. That was the main theme of that movement. Announcing the date to celebrate National Handloom Day in 2015 for the very first time, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had said that all families in the country must keep at least one product of khadi and one of handloom. This will help the weavers or the weaving community in our country to increase their business, which obviously have been struggling. And on this occasion of National Handloom Day, the Textile Ministry has decided to host an exhibition, which is a 15-day exhibition named as Virasat, a fortnight-long exhibition dedicated to celebrating 10th National Handloom Day, began at Handloom Hart in Janpath on Saturday, 3rd August 2024, that is in Delhi. National Handloom Development Cooperation Limited (NHDC) is organizing this Handloom Expo under the aegis of Ministry of Textiles, Government of India, which will conclude on 16th of August 2024. So it will end on 16th of August 2024. If any one of you is in Delhi and is keen on witnessing this exhibition, definitely you should be. The theme for 10th Handloom Day. The theme for this year's National Handloom Day focuses on technological advancements and innovations in handloom and weaving. Now, technological advancements and innovation definitely will increase productivity, will obviously increase the market reach of these products. But yes, we should not forget that if we are going for advancements in technology or innovations, we need skillful labor as well. So, demand for skills in this sector will also increase, which needs to be met. So, this is how the National Handloom Day is being celebrated. Now, the MCQs. Consider the following statements and mark the correct one. The ongoing protests in UK are by the far rightist activists. These protests have been spread by misinformation. Which of these statements are correct? Only one, only two, both, or neither. Second question, which of these forces are not under the jurisdiction of Ministry of Home Affairs? CRPF, BSF, ITBP, Indian Coast Guard. Very simple it is. Consider the following statements with respect to dark oxygen and mark the correct one. Now be very much conceptually clear about it. Then attempt this. Dark oxygen is produced by some varieties of plants in absence of light. Discovery of dark oxygen has posed questions about generation of oxygen by plants in presence of sunlight. Which of these statements are true? Fourth, National Handloom Day is celebrated on 7th August because Swadeshi movement started on this day in 1905. 7th August because Gandhiji appealed to the masses to boycott foreign products during Swadeshi movement of 1905. 7th August because Gandhiji came back from South Africa and appealed to the weavers to weave khadi on this day in 1907, or none of the above. So, mark this. Who led the Swadeshi movement? Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, Sardar Patel, or Jawaharlal Nehru? Very simple this question is. Now, yesterday's MCQs. Consider the following statements and mark the correct one. The students' protest in Bangladesh had led to ousting of the Prime Minister. This statement is true. And why the students were protesting? Because 30% reservation was reinstated for the family of freedom fighters by the High Court of Bangladesh. Students in Bangladesh had been demanding reservation, which was denied by the government. No, they had not been demanding reservation. They were protesting because reservation was given. They were demanding to remove that. So this statement is wrong. So this is going to be the correct answer. Only one. Consider the following pairs with respect to reservation in Bangladesh and mark how many of them are correctly matched. Quantum 30%. Family members of veterans who had fought Bangladesh's liberation in 1971. This is correct. 10% women and people from underdeveloped district. This is also correct. 5% members of tribal communities. This is also correct. And 1% has been given to the persons with disabilities. So, oh sorry, not this, but yes, all the pairs are correctly matched. C is the correct answer. Consider the following statements and mark the correct one. Sheikh Hasina had been the PM of Bangladesh since 2009. Yes, this is true. The main opposition party, Bangladesh Nationalist Party, up till now it is correct, contested 2024 general elections. They boycotted 2024 general elections. In fact, they boycotted 2014 general elections, 2019 general elections, and now 2024 general elections also. So, second statement is wrong, and only one is the correct answer. Which of the following can be the concerns for India due to political turmoil in Bangladesh? Decreased exports to Bangladesh. Yes, overall trade will be impacted. This will be true. More immigration into India. Yes, this can be expected. More crimes along the border. Yes, this is also expected. So, common sense it was required. All of the above is the correct answer for this particular question. So, with this, we have come to an end of today's session. I will be seeing you tomorrow now with more such informative news pieces. Till then, you guys very well know what to do. I'm not repeating it today. Namaste. Jai.